Hey there YouTube, we're back here at the Gold Jeep, working on this parking brake cable. I wanted to show you where I got it's mounted up in there. Got the bolts there and the upper one in the back corner all installed. I'm gonna have to disconnect the battery and disconnect these. There's two connectors right here, one there, this gray one, and then a black one that's up behind there, and then I'm gonna have to run them over this bar to get it to clear. But I'm currently working on this the hood latch. Dirt in there, but what I've had to do is let's see if I can get this light closer. But what I've had to do is that upper corner right at the end of that finger, I've had to like kind of cut down and over to get it to clear that part of that metal to get that screw to start. There's kind of a gap behind it. I may consider putting some kind of spacer back there, but I think if I tighten it just enough, it'll it'll be good enough. Let's see, and then the holes for those two bolts I was saying come out of the sheet metal. Well, actually they do, but one of them comes up inside of this hole, and I've had to take the Dremel tool and like cut out a section for the bolt to clear. See if we can get this kind of behind there so you can kind of see. So there's a hole forward of that, and to allow the nut to go on it. I haven't welded it. The other one I can't show you, but it's back behind. There's like a channel here and then another channel that runs that way. It's up inside of there, and there is a hole to get to it. I just can't get a socket or anything on the back side, so I can't completely tighten it, but I got it pretty tight just by hand. And so yeah, so I think it's gonna work. I also worked on this part here so that now I can open the door and it won't hit up on that and bend it in like it was. And then this piece, here's the piece that I cut off. I actually didn't need that other piece for a template, because right in here where I've cut, there was kind of like a casting, like kind of a little, like kind of like that. That was the right shape that I needed to cut out. So I just used the Dremel tool again with the cut-off wheel on it and cut it out, and then kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It's going to be up underneath there, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So as soon as the cable comes in, then we'll get to work on doing that. But I just wanted to show you where we're at. I'm gonna get all this finished and get those wires all swapped around, and then so that they clear everything and nothing hangs up, and then I'll bring you guys back to finish it off. Alright guys, we're back. We're here in the garage on the washing machine. I wanted to show you the cable came in. It is really long. I climbed under the Jeep to kind of get a visual of how it's going to go. And there's going to be a lot of tucking this thing out of the way inside, but we'll get to that. I got to figure out where this end goes to the pedal. I got to figure out where this piece mounts up to, and then how we're going to mount this piece up. I pulled this out of the Jeep, so I had to, because I had to pull the bench seat kind of out of the way to get this out of the floorboard, because it's like right underneath. And it's made out of plastic. I had left it down in there to kind of keep stuff from like blowing in from underneath. But like I said, this thing is plastic. It doesn't really flex when I squeeze on it, but it's not strong enough for what I'm planning to do. So I got this piece of metal, and we're going to make our own version of it out of metal. I got the old lever here. And I think I was mistaken. I thought that they used a short cable for this, but I actually think now that they used a rod that went from here out through, and there was like a little bellows type seal on the end, and then it came out and attached to this thing, which the cables out of the drums attached to this. And I found some washers and a couple of nuts for jam nuts. But what I want to do is I want to make my own one of these for a couple of reasons. One, I want to make a hole that this will snap down into and make this outer conduit piece sturdier. And then I want to make sure that I get the angle from wherever it comes, it leaves the vehicle and comes back in, to where the angle is going to allow a nice transition from down here to where it just is already, as it's coming up, and it's ready and just riding along this surface, so that it'll go up along the transmission tunnel and get routed along the top there and through the floorboards and stuff. So we're going to make our own, and I think most of this piece of metal will do it. We'll have enough for a nice strong plate. So I'll mark it off and cut it out, and then I'll have to figure out what kind of opening I'm going to make, and then how long this section's got to be, and then we'll just fill in with some other sheet metal that I have laying around on the around here to keep debris and stuff from getting inside the Jeep. So not going to do it right now. I'll get on it tomorrow because it's getting dark, but I'll bring you back then, and we'll start doing it, and then you'll see it all come together, and hopefully have this thing in there and adjusted and working tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I will bring you right back. Alright guys, we are back. I went ahead and built this thing without you guys. I just kind of got into a groove and started putting it together. So here's the original one. There's the rear of it. They're pretty much the same size. I used this to mock it up and took some measurements and stuff and kind of got it figured out how I wanted it. Can we get it on its side? Oops. You can kind of see how much more shallow the one that I made is than that one. This is going to give me a better angle for it to come out here and then come in, and it's just going to lay right up along the top of this. I may even go as far as to, on this hole, I'm going to look around for a one of them hose clamps with the rubberized stuff. Let's go over here and look. I got a mess everywhere, of course. The hose clamp, so something like this. If I can find one that'll fit around that, I don't think I have any. If it'll fit around that cable. I think all I got is like little small ones for doing brake lines. I may have to go pick some of them up, but I may, when I get some, find one that'll go around the cable, and I'll just bolt it to right there, and that'll help hold it down. So I think that's probably what I will do. I got to take the bench seat all the way out so we can lay the cable up underneath, and it'll be a good chance to like clean up this thing, vacuum, get rid of a lot of the junk I have in here. Like, there's stuff laying in here that I don't know what the heck it's doing in here, why it's not. Like, I got this snatch block. It needs to be in my recovery kit, which I think is that bag over there. I got this box that was laying in here. I think I was gonna use this one for spare parts. You know, like crank sensors and the cam sensor or whatever the one is that goes in the distributor. I forget what they call that one. Put that, fuel filter, and other stuff, and then maybe even some tools in here. So that's why I got this. I also have one I found at Ross. It's a little like ammo toolbox, but it was red, and I saw that and I was like, man, that'll be a great first aid kit. But anyway, I'm gonna get this seat out of here and kind of, I think before after I get the cable ran and everything, then I'll clean up. But I got like tools, and I got a thing of O-rings right here. Yeah, I got junk in here that I don't even know what the heck it was. I didn't think it was this bad in here. Exhaust hangers. What the heck, man? There's one of my bottles. It's got nasty water in it. But yeah, I'm going to get the bench seat out, and then we'll start laying that thing in here. I do want to, like, that's where it's going to go, right down in there. I want to clean around the edge, and then I'm going to put some, probably some silicone or something. I got some roofing stuff I'll probably use for that. But let me go get this thing out, and then I'll show you how it's going to work. So I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys, we're back. This is the stuff that I used to seal that thing up in there, roof and flashing. It's a black rubberized, well, polyurethane sealant. Figured it would work pretty good, and plus I needed to use that tube. So I got it down in there, fought this thing to get it down in there, but it's clipped, ain't coming out. I should have ran it at least from here back first, but I ended up sticking it down in there first, and then I had to fight it to get it through here, and then even more so to get it through there. I think I'm going to run it along this side of the four-wheel drive shifter, and I stopped for a moment because I'm looking under here to figure out where I want to take it. And I think I'm going to go behind the throttle cable, because you press down, it's not going to interfere with this. I may have to get another one of those black hose clamp things that I was telling you about earlier, and then maybe put it up in there somewhere. But let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I think, gotta be careful I don't stab myself on one of these studs for the seat. I think we'll go behind that lever, behind up and behind the steering column, and then I think we're gonna end up having to come down, or I might be able to go over the top of that brake booster bracket. Sorry, I'm looking myself, and so I may be able to go over the top of this bracket maybe, and then come down on the other side, and then in. I got to figure out where it mounts into this thing. I'm not too sure. One issue that I'm having too is right there. It's actually, there was supposed to be a rubber thing here on this piece. I took it out. I ended up ripping it by accident because it wouldn't come out. But that shiny piece there is supposed to be buttoned up against that, but the hood latch is like in the way. So I don't know. I guess I could always go and look at the Comanche and see how they got it, but I may have to build a bracket for that hood latch. It was really a pain to get this screw that's down in there on. That's all that holds this, well, yeah, that's all that holds this on there. So like right here, I got some issues where it's like kind of coming away. Hopefully you see that. But other than that, it clears that mark that I made. Good thing there's that little casting mark on there. But yeah, I may have to figure out how to make a different bracket or mount it somewhere else. We'll see. But I'm gonna keep looking at it and figure this thing out, and then I'll bring you guys right back once I get it. All right, guys, we're back. I'm making a mistake. It doesn't go, it's not gonna, it won't work going up, around, and then down, because it's got to come up from the bottom and then hook in. Down, I don't know, hopefully you guys can maybe see, but like right down in there, right above the flashlight, there's a hole that the cable comes in, and that's where it clips. And then the cable part, let's see. Alright, so the cable part connects right in. You slip it in that kind of square hole right there, and then it drops down into a little groove down there. This light is, so yeah, it goes in the bigger part and then drops down and then stops, and then it pulls it up, and that's what tightens it. So hopefully we can get this thing figured out. So I'm gonna reroute it, and then I'll show you guys where it's going. I might actually be able to come around the shifter and then kind of over. I'll try it, and then I'll bring you guys back and show you what's going on. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back. I went ahead and pulled the panel off, peeled the carpet back. I have it still running up and around and then down, and I'm gonna try to get it away from back behind the pedal or something. I don't think it's gonna interfere with anything, if I can show you guys. So I don't think it'll interfere with anything. But it comes back and down and then around and then up, and then and then it comes in from the bottom and it drops into that little piece I was showing you right there. And then it oh, come on, gosh, everything's in the way. There we go. Maybe you can see it, but then it rides right in there. And once we tighten the other end, the tension and stuff from the brakes will keep that thing seated where it needs to be. I'm gonna work on this hood latch because I don't like the angle of the pedal and it hitting up against there. So I'm gonna work on that and then try to find something to put back up in there, because I destroyed that other bumper piece that's supposed to be in there. And we'll see what we can do. So I'll bring you guys back after a bit. Alright guys, we're back. I've been making mistakes this whole time. It's natural, for doing this kind of thing, because I don't know how many other people have done this, and I don't have any guides to go off of. But my first big mistake was when I mounted this pedal assembly. I have this end needs to be closer to the floorboard, and I was trying to clear this wiring because the Comanche doesn't have that, but there's like a clip thing, so I'm gonna have to cut this tape off, that and then get it off of whatever bracket is holding it, pull it away, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole pedal assembly out, and I'm going to elongate this hole to allow this thing to pivot from that one that's back up in there. Drop this down, give it some adjustment, and then we can tighten it back up. But that hole up there, that's up in the front, or up close to us, it's up in there where my pinky's pointing somewhere. I don't have my, there we go. There's a flashlight. So it's up back, it's right behind, right up in through that, behind that bracket and between this cable. So I'm going to have to weld another piece to it to allow that one to elongate and shift down. And then, because this cable is, for the brake release, it's too much of an S curve. This bracket needs to be dropped down more in line with this, and that will allow this pedal to clear the bracket on the hood release, or the hood latch release. And then I think that'll solve all our problems. So that's it for this video, though. I'll bring you guys back to show you how I remedy this and what I'm talking about by elongating the holes and stuff. But it's getting late, and I already think that this video is long enough. So stay tuned for the next one, where we get this thing fixed and done right. But that, making mistakes, that's just the name of the game. So till next time, y'all take care now.